do Albert Einstein, Quentin Tarantino, and Donald Trump have in common? They all have IQs over 150. Today, we'll learn about IQ. We'll explore its history, its validity, and look at its real-world applications and correlations. I'm not an IQ expert by any means, but I've done enough research over the years that I can confidently bring this information to you. We know that IQ is a measure of intelligence, but how and why did IQ come to be measured, and what does IQ actually mean? Let's take a trip back to the early 20th century and look at the birth of IQ. A French psychologist by the name of Alfred Binet created the first intelligence quotient test to diagnose mental retardation in children. The way this test worked was that it would determine the mental age of a child and divide this by the child's physical age. For example, an 8-year-old with the mental capability of a 12-year-old would have an IQ of 150. It's called an intelligence quotient because the mental and physical ages are being divided. Almost a decade later, a Stanford psychologist named Lewis Terman refined this concept. Terman made IQ into a relative measure of intelligence. It would measure an individual's intelligence against other individuals in this age range. The median for IQ would be 100. A perfectly average person would have an IQ of 100, and half the population would have an IQ less, and half the population would have a higher IQ. Terman's IQ model is still used by psychometricians today. The United States military soon caught wind of these developments and used them to their benefit. They didn't want their best and brightest recruits thrown into the trenches to fight and die. World War I marked the most widespread use of the intelligence quotient test yet. Now that we've learned about IQ history, let's explore its validity as a measurement of intelligence. IQ tests aren't biased against any one gender, race, or age. In fact, past a certain age, usually around age 15, it becomes really hard to change your IQ. Even after taking the test numerous times over a long period of time, your results will mostly agree with each other. The standard error for measurement for an IQ test is about 3 points. Now that we've established IQ as a valid measure of intelligence, let's look at ways this information can be used. IQ has all sorts of interesting and useful real-world correlations. For example, IQ is a good measurement of income potential. People with higher IQs generally earn more than people with lower IQs, although this effect has diminishing returns. People with extremely high IQs don't earn that much more than people with high IQs. Although IQ is really hard to change past a certain age, it may be possible to target and help educate children with lower IQs so that they will become more successful later in life. IQ is a decent indicator of criminal potential. Studies show that the majority of crimes are committed by people between the IQ range of 70 and 90, with the peak range being between 80 and 90. Of course, correlation is not causation. It's not as simple as saying dumb people commit more crimes because they're dumb. For example, a child performing poorly in school may feel alienated and may act out because of these feelings. For this reason, IQ tests cannot determine why crimes are committed or who will commit them, only who is most at risk for falling victim to a criminal lifestyle. Low IQ has been linked to health problems. Very recently, researchers have established a link between low IQ scores and infectious diseases. These researchers postulate that fighting infectious diseases constrain the child's metabolism and prevent development of a healthy brain. These researchers infer from this that the overall health of a population's youth is the most important factor in determining the IQ of this population. So it's clear that IQ is not just simply a test of intelligence. It can be used to predict future outcomes of the population, to intercept problems before they occur, and to help determine the areas of society that need improvement. Today we've looked at the history of IQ in education, warfare, and psychology, examined its validity as a measure of intelligence, and that's the end of the presentation.